I would say that if you're describing an obsession with freedom, above and beyond all other virtues, a willingness to constantly turn to drugs, whether legal ones or illegal ones, incapacity to hold the family together. Those are certainly things that when I and my friends were in college and we were turning towards conservatism, religion, nationalism, we were turning because of those things which were already happening, and which, as I say, are beautifully described in their terminal state in your book.
I'm so glad you brought up drugs, because that's definitely one example where their rise is tied directly to the baby boom generation. And the way you can tell that is because when you think of each subsequent decade and the drug that you identify with it, it is the drug that the boomers were using during that decade. In the 60s, they were smoking pot. And then when they got a little bit more money, it was the 70s, and that's the decade of cocaine. In the 80s, they were working on their careers and they were stressed in the suburbs. And so they all took Valium. And then in the 90s, they started having their own young kids. And that's when they put their kids on Adderall and Ritalin. Those are kind of the drugs of the 90s. And I really love that example because that is the most boomerish way to use drugs. Because boomers, as we know, are allergic to authority. They don't like exercising authority. And so they love to be the cool parent. But if you've ever raised a young kid, you know that it's not possible to raise a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old without exercising a little bit of discipline. So that's where Ritalin came in. They said, I don't want to be the tough disciplinarian, so let me sedate my child and stuff him with drugs so that I am able to raise him and not have a little hellion while still maintaining my pose as the cool dad. So that's just two boomer traits back to back. On the one hand, solving every problem with drugs, and on the other hand, just being unwilling to exercise any authority at all.